Hey everybody, it's Nate from EXPLORIST.life. I teach people how to build DIY campers, and this video is episode number 2 in a new series of videos where I'll be showing you step by step, from the ground up, how we're upfitting our new Ford Transit into a lightweight-ish and modular camper van. Now in the last video, I put out a call for suggestions to see what kind of projects all of you wanted to see me do this van. But in this video, I'm going to give you a walkthrough of some of the stats, the optional equipment, and all that kind of stuff that we chose to have installed on this Transit by Ford. Now this is a 2021 Ford Transit 350 single rear wheel cargo van with a high roof, all-wheel drive, and a 10-speed automatic transmission. Now for the engine, we went with a 3.5 liter EcoBoost twin turbo V6 gas motor capable of putting out 300 horsepower and 400 foot-pounds of torque that I was actually able to lay down a 7-second quarter-mile time with, but I didn't have a camera with me, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it. Now the exterior is abyss gray, which seems a bit too dramatic for my taste, so I'll probably just be calling it dark gray from here on out. Now the standard equipment is mostly, well, standard equipment for the most part. Outside we have a black bumper instead of a painted one, a single sliding door on the side, and 2 rear cargo doors out back. It's got a full-size spare tire, headlamps, and rain-sensing wipers as well. Inside we've got air conditioning, oh shit handles, a center console with storage, interior LED lighting, a locking glove box, a 12-volt outlet, and a tilting telescoping steering wheel. Now there are also a ton of other standard functions, safety, security, and warranty features that I'm not going to read through, partially because I don't have a good way to demonstrate the fact that we have some of this stuff, like a heavy-duty front axle. Now, on to the optional equipment. Now some of this stuff was dependent on the other stuff that we chose in a, if you get this, you have to get that sort of fashion, but let's just run through the list. We upgraded to the twin-turboed EcoBoost gas motor since we plan on loading this thing up to pretty much max capacity, and we want plenty of power for mountain passes and steep forest roads. The 3.73 rear differential is a good split between fuel mileage and power, and the limited slip is going to give us better traction off-road. Now full e-lockers and air lockers or something along those lines would have been better, but that's not an option directly from Ford, so that may be something we investigate as an aftermarket solution later on. We also added wheel well liners. Now, I think it's kind of absurd that the Transit doesn't come with wheel well liners. I kind of think they're a necessity, so we bought them. We also got fixed rear cargo door glass. We wanted a bit more sunlight to be able to come into the van than our last van, and with the current shortage of aftermarket van windows, we just opted to have Ford install them for us, and at only $250 for the pair, it was significantly cheaper than aftermarket options. We opted for the 9,500 pound GVWR package, and this was the highest weight rating that we could get while still having single rear wheels. Now, unless I'm towing a trailer, I don't want dual rear wheels. In my experience, they're worse when off-road and on slick roads, and it's just more tires to buy when these wear out, and it also lowers the fuel mileage. We got 2-way power seats up front, and we opted for the 2-way seats over the higher-end 10-way ones because with the 10-way ones, they seem to have issues with swivels, apparently. Now, I'm sure we could have made it work, but the 2-way seats are what we decided on here and will work great with the aftermarket swivels that we're going to install. Now we opted for the built-in block heater since it's actually negative 16 degrees Fahrenheit outside as we speak. Even though keeping the block warm for starting isn't as important for gas engines as it is for diesel engines, it sure is nice not to have to start and run the engine for as long for the heater to start actually blowing hot air. We also added the keyless entry pad so I don't have to carry keys in my pocket when we're out skiing or hide them when we're out paddleboarding. We added the tow haul mode with trailer wiring for the times that we may be hauling a trailer, which will probably be a pretty rare occurrence for the most part, but will happen occasionally. Also, the tow haul mode is fantastic for traveling up and down long mountain passes to keep the transmission in a lower gear. And we also got the modified vehicle wiring system because, well, I think it was actually added automatically because we got dual 250 amp alternators, which also added dual starting batteries. Now we're going to add some pretty substantial alternator charging capabilities to this van, so dual alternators will be fantastic to be able to feed some big amperages without overworking the alternators. Now, I thought we got upfitter switches in this van, but when scripting out this video, I actually realized we didn't. I meant to, but ultimately, this may just give me a chance to show you how to add switches up front for light bars and other stuff like that. Now we did end up with fog lamps though, so those will be nice for tapping into if the project calls for it. Now we opted for black steel wheels instead of silver because these wheels will probably get demoted to snow tires, and we'll probably get some different wheels for some beefier all-terrain tires for the summertime. And we also got adaptive cruise control. Now I really like adaptive cruise control so that I don't have to manually adjust my speed when I come up behind somebody in traffic. Now, adaptive cruise control, it uses a radar to do that function for me automatically, and it's really nice. And we also added lane assist for a little added comfort on those long drives, just to help keep us between the lines. And we also got a 31-gallon fuel tank for the next time we go to Alaska or something like that, because it's sometimes a long way between fuel stations. And finally, some of the other stuff that we got is just kind of self-explanatory, like we got an overhead shelf up front, because shelving is nice, illuminated sun visors, 2 additional keys, a 12-volt outlet, an auxiliary fuse panel, 120-volt 400-watt power outlet from an OEM inverter that's powered by the starting batteries, and wiper-activated headlamps. Some of that stuff I was pretty set on getting, like the 9,500-pound GVWR package and the dual alternators, and some of the stuff was just added because that's how the Ford build process works. But ultimately, I think this is a fantastic platform for this new camper build series on this channel. Now in the last video, I asked all of you what projects you wanted to see in this build. Now in the next video, Steph and I are actually going to hop in the back of this van with a bunch of sticky notes and start talking about the layout, the design, and start to see where we can integrate some of those ideas that you all gave us last week. So stay tuned. Now, I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, it would be awesome if you would share it with somebody or a group who you think could use it. Leave any questions you got or new things you learned in the comment section below. And if this video inspired you to build something, be sure to tag your projects with the Explorist Life tag on Instagram so I can see and share your projects. Subscribe if you want to see more DIY camper building tutorials, and I will see you in the next video.